Welcome to my review of Ninja Slayer episodes 13 and 14. That's right, my friends, I missed episode 13, so I'm going to do a double review in this week's episode. And that actually kind of works in my favor, because these two episodes right here are directly connected. They're their own self-contained story, and it's a two-parter all about Yamato Koki actually meeting her ninja sensei who teaches her the art of Iaido, otherwise known as using a katana sword. One of the most shocking things about this two-parter right here is that for me personally, I got the feels watching these. This to me was probably the best two episodes of the series. Not in terms of animation, not in terms of action, but in characterization and actually making me care about these freaking characters. Because they introduced this brand new ninja who goes by the name of the Silver Chorus. He's this white, badass, Assassin's Creed looking ninja who basically just does dirty work for hire. What I really love about this guy is that the whole gimmick of his character is that he's terminally ill and he's about to die. So he's going to do everything in his power to pass on his ninja skills to Yamato Koki. In the first episode, he meets her in this laundromat when she's attacked by this ninja who goes by the name of Nutcracker. This guy looks hilarious. He's this big jack dude with this red ninja mask, which can open up and it has all of these mechanical spikes and cogs, which he can use to bite down on people and literally tear them to shreds. Luckily, Yamato is saved by the Silver Chorus, and they begin their karate training, which involves breaking boards and using swords. I also really like the fact that Yamato sort of sees Kagi as sort of like a father figure, but she's also looking out for him because she learns that he's terminally ill, he's constantly coughing up blood, and he has only a small amount of time to live, and he's using his time to train Yamato. At the very end of that episode, the Sokaya Syndicate actually hires him and two other ninja to try and kill her. That leads to the second episode where things just get insane. So Yamato decides she's going to go out and fight against these ninja. You have Chorus who has to decide to make this ultimate decision to try and save her by fighting against the other ninja. These two ninja they're going to have to fight against are known as Third Eye and the Sword Dancer. And they both have equally crazy designs, where Third Eye is this sort of like techno cyberpunk looking ninja who has kinesis abilities, which really never come into play. Basically, he's just a cool-looking cyber ninja. But then you have Sword Dancer, who's this ninja who's wearing this massive tribal mask, and he's able to spin around real quick with his multiple blades. But the Silver Chorus just ends up tearing him to pieces. That leads to this big confrontation between Yamato Koki and Third Eye, and she uses her Iaido abilities to destroy him. With both of these ninjas defeated, it of course leads to the classic Sayonara! The episode ends with Yamato Koki and the Silver Chorus having a very tense confrontation where he's literally begging for her to kill him, although she just doesn't have the strength or the will to do it. She simply just drops her sword and falls into his arms as he dies into the night. It's really a sad scene. It all ends literally with like a shocking, just big lightning explosion, fade to black, there's the credits, and you just have to deal with it in your own mind. I was just like, wow, this was definitely the most well-written episode of the entire series. It sucks that as soon as this is done, we're gonna have to kind of go back to the more ridiculous nature of Ninja Slayer and Nancy Lee and seeing what they're doing. All I know is, I want to see more of Yamato Koki. She's a really interesting character. I also want to learn a little bit more about her background, why she can't leave Neo Saitama, why she doesn't seem to have a family that she can attach herself to, and eventually I'm sure she's going to team up with Ninja Slayer again. We're just going to have to wait until we get there. Otherwise, what's the rundown on these two episodes of Ninja Slayer? These episodes will actually make you care about the characters, and that is something that is really important for the show, because for the most part, for me anyway, Ninja Slayer is kind of like a guilty pleasure. I watch it just to enjoy the goofy animation and the ridiculousness of all of it. I don't really pay attention to the story that much because it's just all over the place, it's insane, and you're not meant to take it all that seriously, but these two episodes right here actually made me take this series a little more seriously, and I think that's a really big accomplishment considering that they're doing that with a side character and a character who was just introduced in this week's episode. On the technical side of things, I loved the design of Silver Chorus' costume. He looks awesome. I've said it before and I'll say it again. If there's one thing that Ninja Slayer is doing right, it's its character designs. Every single ninja, villain, Ninja Slayer, transformation sequence, they all look freaking awesome. I love all of them. The Silver Chorus is also a really interesting character because he's introduced and then he's just seemingly killed off like that. And yet, he's still an incredibly important element for the series because he's going to give Yamato a little bit of growth, and hopefully that means we'll get more interactions between her and Ninja Slayer. And Yamato Koki is also just an absolutely adorable character. You can't just not like her, and she's so cool, especially that scene where she was fighting against Third Eye on the bridge, followed by a massive explosion. Everything there looks really good, and then the scene where she's trying to fight against Silver Chorus at the end, where he's barely even dodging and she's barely even attacking as she's breaking down and crying, is absolutely heartbreaking. The voice acting there is also really good and some of the best that I've seen from the entire series. Everything else in these two episodes looked really good in terms of like the artwork, the animation, and just the absolute ridiculousness of everything. I mean, these episodes open up with this weird mohawked punk who's just killing all of these weird geisha women, and then suddenly you're introduced to this freaking ninja who looks like he's from the Assassin's Creed series. It's just crazy. I really love all of it. And then it's followed by this amazingly poignant story, which I think was handled really well. Again, it has a lot of that 2D Aqua Teen style Hunger Force animation that we've seen before, but still it's used to good effect. It's still used for comedy, but there's still some nice intense animation here or there, so it's definitely worth checking out, especially if you've been following the series. This episode might actually give you the feels like it did for me. What I will say is, I liked both of these episodes quite a bit. I think it was one of the better two-parters from the series. So I'm going to give both episodes a 4 out of 5. I really like them. I can't wait to see where the rest of the series is going. So check out these episodes, guys. I'm going to give them a 4 out of 5. Action-packed, fun, and well-written stories with some really interesting characters. Ninja Slayer is unlike any other anime series that I've ever seen, and if you consider yourself a fan of action anime or comedy anime, check this series out. You might see something you like. So I liked both these episodes, but what about you guys? Did you check out the double-parter of Ninja Slayer? What did you think of the introduction of the Silver Chorus? Do you want to see more of Yamato Koki in the future? And what do you hope to see from the rest of the Ninja Slayer anime series? Please tell me in the comments section below. Thank you guys for watching my review. Make sure to like it, share it with all of your friends, and make sure to subscribe to the channel and follow us on social media. Thank you guys again for watching, and as always, sayonara! And I can only pray, and I really mean that, I can only pray that they're actually... Hey Christian, welcome to my review of Ninja Slayer.